everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bill Has Opinions, the drinking show with a leftover problem. I am Laura Lavoie, and I'm here with Bill Perkins, who has opinions.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm not sure I am tired of turkey yet.
Are you not? I figured by Monday, so it's Thursday.
I didn't eat it. I haven't eaten it every meal since, it's been off and on, so I'm okay. I could still eat another. I'll have one more meal of it, and then I'm...
and then you're done. Well, so that is the discussion, but I had a meeting this morning with a coworker, a partner, and she said she made turkey minestrone soup in the crock pot this morning because she just had so much turkey left. She's like, God damn it.
I don't know if I had that much. I mean, we cooked a relatively small one. And,
Well, yeah, we'll get into some of that. Well, actually, we can get into it. So let's just start out with how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I had a long weekend. Did you have a long weekend?
Yes, I didn't have to work on Thursday or Friday, but that also meant I had to smoosh 5 days of work into 2 days beforehand.
That. Okay. Fair. Yeah, I guess that's a double-edged sword of working for yourself, I suppose.
Yeah, but no, it was a nice weekend. We had a small group of people here on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
We did a very different Thanksgiving.
Christmas.
Not there yet. We did because we had a couple neighbors over for the football game.
Yeah.
We made turkey sliders.
Okay. Yeah.
With sweet potato chips and Brussels sprout slaw.
Right.
So all the tastes of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But in a different format.
That's kind of cool.
And
how did it turn out?
Oh, it was perfect. It was great.
Just enough, huh?
Yeah, it was perfect.
All right.
It was perfect.
So did you just get a turkey breast then?
No, I actually got ground turkey.
Oh, ground turkey. Okay.
Yeah, got ground turkey, made the best sliders, the best ground turkey or turkey burgers I've ever made in my life. They were amazing. They were moist. They were delicious. They were cooked.
Right.
All the way through because you don't want to poison anybody on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, ideally no.
No, but I did. I found a recipe to make the best turkey burgers, and I did.
Cool.
So, and I saw that you had a delightfully family-oriented Thanksgiving with all your immediate family.
Yeah, it was the first time we did it at our house. Usually we go over to my mother-in-law's, and it was this whole big, huge thing. And this time we were finally we got enough people just at our house. Fuck it, that's too much work and blah blah blah. So we just did it ourselves, and it was fine. We didn't cook a turkey per se. We got a pre-cooked turkey from Publix, and then you had to put it in the oven for another hour.
Sure, we've done
or
that.
So,
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was good. I made the French green bean casserole,
right?
With the onions on top.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only person who ate that, so I'm not making it again next year because apparently I'm the only person who likes it. And and here's the thing, and I only made that because I used to make the mac and cheese, but I make grandma's mac and cheese.
Yeah, no, we've discussed mac and cheese before, and you and I make it very similarly.
Right, with it's basically pasticcio without the meat and a lot of extra cheddar cheese, right?
Right, but we don't do a melty cheese.
No,
you just bake it with the cheese on it.
You bake it with cheese on it.
Yeah.
And I like it that way, but everybody else in my household hates it. So I was told, hey, you're making it wrong. And I was like, I'm making it the way I fucking make it. Okay, then somebody else is in charge of mac and cheese.
Right.
So I got off mac and cheese, and I figured, okay, well, I'll make the green bean casserole. Well, apparently nobody likes that either. So I think I'm just done. I'm not fixing anything. I'll just I don't want to be like that because I don't think it's a woman's job to go in the kitchen and cook. But apparently everything I fucking cook nobody wants. So
so fuck that.
Fuck that. I'm not dealing with it then, because my wife's very particular about the things she makes. And apparently she's particular about the things I make too. She's gonna tell. And I'm the kind of person where I'm of the mindset, if you're gonna tell me how to do it, then you can just fucking do it.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% there.
Okay, you don't like my mac and cheese? Well, then it looks like you're in charge of mac and cheese.
Exactly. No, I feel the same. If somebody don't come after me while I'm doing a job, and just stand over and say, "Oh, well, that isn't how I do it." Then you can.
Well, then you are welcome to take it over.
That is ridiculous. In my case, it's mostly home improvement projects.
Yeah.
If I'm painting a wall,
100%.
If somebody walks up behind me, is no, you're not doing it right. I'm then I don't need to do it.
All right, fair enough.
Then I'm
it looks like it's your job now.
Yep, that's it.
That's the way I do too.
That's
yeah,
what we're doing.
and so that whole thing. Anyway, it looks like I'm not cooking anything next year.
All right,
I'm just gonna go sit in the other room and watch the Lions game.
Perfect. Perfect. I mean, I know from various texts. Actually, the text you sent during the Lions game this year, we laughed about for hours. The text actually said, "Who is that feller? What looks like Thor?" So for the rest of the game, anytime Anzalone was on the field, we were like, "That's that feller. What looks like Thor?"
Does he though?
He does. He does.
He's just got like these golden locks like pouring out of his helmet.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, he's a less greasy Clay Matthews, right? So if you watch any other football, you know who that is. He's like Clay Matthews is always really greasy. Like he has long hair, but when it's like when he's playing, and I think he does grease it up on purpose, so people can't grab it.
Oh, fair, yeah.
You know, because that's legal. You can grab somebody's hair.
Sure.
If it's you can't like horse collar. You can't, you know.
But you can grab their hair.
Face mask. Yeah, if that's a part of their body, you can grab their hair. So I think he does it on purpose, but he looks really.
Some people
greasy.
grab it and they go, "Yeah."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But Anzalone does not do that, and
he's got these like luxurious
flowing out the helmet. Yeah. So
and I was like, and I saw, I don't remember what I saw a play where it did a replay and he was in on it, and I was like, who's that guy? You know, like that's interesting. Like, well, you know, because he's got a look.
Yeah,
you know?
he does got a look. No, but yeah.
And then she was like, and then she said, "Oh, he's mediocre," and I'm like, yeah, well, I mean.
He's on the Lions.
It's like when it's, you know, I was thinking about this over the week. I was like, how about like it's got to be like a weird thing, like when they come to you and they go, "Hey, good news and bad news," and they're like, "Okay, what's the good news?" They're like, "Well, you've been picked for the NFL." What's the bad news? It's for the Lions.
You're like, damn it. Yeah, no, that's absolutely.
I mean, I guess you have opportunity at least there to be the best person on a bad team.
Well,
right?
and I do often wonder I do often wonder that as, oh, by the way, next year you can be in
charge of
beer. And also, Jill asked me the same thing last year. And I quote once again, the feller, what looks like Thor. We every time. Oh my God, it was so funny. Anyway.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't talk like that per se, but
no, I know.
But sometimes I'm like, hey, you know what?
You just lead into it a little more. All right, so now that we've talked about that, I think we ought to get into the beers that we're drinking.
We oughta.
So actually, let's start out with this because Bill brought a bunch of really great Christmas beer.
Yeah.
To share, and so we started out with the Shiner Holiday Cheer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you, Shiner is not a brand of beer I drink very often.
Sure.
Most of the time I feel it tastes very synthetic. And it does actually says right here with natural flavor and caramel color.
And also things.
But so this is like a peach pecan. And I thought I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it?
Say I didn't hate it.
I don't. So I was telling you beforehand that I don't like Shiner Bock per se. But I like their holiday flavor. Their seasonal flavors are good. Mm-hmm. I like this one at Christmas time, and I like their summer. They've got this one called Ruby Redbird or something.
Oh yeah, and I know you're a fan of the grapefruit one.
And ginger or something like that. So I like their flavored beers, but I don't really like their regular beer. But yeah, I mean they're kind of one of those early. It's like them and Sam Adams were like the two big, you know, like micros that you could buy everywhere. I guess if you could call them micros, I mean, like.
I mean they're kind of medium crows, I guess.
Whatever.
Medium crow beers, but no, and so the other one I put on the level of this one, and especially if you're from the Midwest, right? So some beer from where? Is Leinenkugel.
Oh yeah, okay,
and you can get it down here, but it's obviously because it's a Wisconsin brewery. It's more common up there, and they do I don't like the regular Leinenkugel, but they usually did a really good seasonal
Mhm.
selection. So
Yeah, you can get every flavor of shandy that's ever been made.
yes. Well, they'll make new shandies.
They're making them up. They're like,
those-
ever had pomegranate shandy? Here it is.
Exactly.
You know, and you're like, hey, ever had butternut squash shandy? Here it
Here you
is.
go.
And you're like, well, I didn't think that was a thing, but okay.
You're like, yes, it is. But then we had to go with the Asheville favorite, a Cold Mountain.
Mhm.
So I know we've talked about this on the show before.
Every year, probably.
Right. So Cold Mountain, Asheville, Highland Brewing, they do every year the recipe is slightly different.
Yeah.
So it makes it this like just like Black Friday bullshit when people are like, I gotta go get me this beer.
Right.
And you don't know what you're gonna get. And so
Yeah.
in some
It's
years,
like a box of chocolates.
some years are way better than others, and I will say I believe this year is one of their best years in a very
I
long
really
time.
like it. I really like it. You said you felt you tasted spices first.
Well, I don't taste heavy sweet, which has been a problem, and I don't taste it being like cloyingly sweet,
Huh.
which has been a problem.
Actually, the first thing I tasted was probably vanilla. So
vanilla done right shouldn't be sweet.
To me, it's vanilla and hazelnut is what I taste.
I taste the spices. I do taste vanilla and hazelnut, but I just don't taste the sweet. Like there were a couple years where it was just like it made your teeth hurt. It was so sweet.
Right. I mean, it is kind of a brown, you know.
It is a brown.
It is a brown.
It is an actual brown.
It is an actual brown ale. So it's gonna be like that. That's why it can lean in a little sweet sometimes. But yeah.
Yes.
But what I'm feeling this time, I guess it says on the back. I didn't even read the back before I told you that, but I tasted vanilla and hazelnut.
It's funny because they didn't used to put the flavor profile.
Oh yeah, now they tell you.
It was always a joke.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what does it taste with this time? And some people were like, I don't know, raspberries. Like, I don't know what it
I
tastes
guess this year they're telling us, but actually those were the first two things I said were the first two things they listed.
It's true. So I'm on the last because I tasted
tasted
the
the cinnamon.
spice. Yeah, the cinnamon.
Uh-huh.
But either way, I think it's really delicious because it doesn't taste sickeningly sweet.
No, it's delicious, and which is why I went and bought a second 6-pack. Here's the thing I will say about it. Thankfully, it's gotten easier. Like it used to be like a Hunger Games to grab this shit, and it's gotten easier to get. And I don't know if it's easier to get in Asheville, but
Sure.
if you live 30 minutes out from Asheville, you can find a place that's selling it. You know, like. And I went 2 different places over the weekend that both had. I drove down to Landrum, which is just across the state line,
Right.
and I purchased it there. That's where I got my first 6-pack. I came home and I immediately drank half the 6-pack, and then I was like, and then I had to take a kid back to Blowing Rock on Sunday. And while I was up there, I was like, I'm gonna stop at the grocery store and see what they got. And thankfully they had this, so I bought another 6 of it while I was there because I was like, well, might as well.
Right, exactly.
I'm liking it.
There were several years where, I mean, you literally couldn't get it because of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, you know what? Not going to buy that. I'll get it when it's on tap. That's going to be the only chance
you
I
can
can
usually
get
find it at a bar.
Because bars will order kegs of it.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. So usually you get at least one glass of it somewhere if you didn't get it in a bottle.
Well,
yeah.
When we're done with this, we're going to have the New Belgium, which I'm very excited to try. So it says flavors of cranberry and spice.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you remember, have we talked about this before? New Belgium used to have a holiday ale called Two Below, and it was like an ESB.
No, I don't remember that at all.
It was my favorite beer for a while, and I've heard people compare this to that.
Okay.
But they stopped making it a bunch of years ago because New Belgium.
Who is the? I want to say is it Great Lakes? Who makes the one that's called something like First Frost or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. That sounds delicious. Whatever it is.
I want to say it's Great Lakes or somebody.
Great Lakes does have a Christmas ale.
It's got a blue label, and it's got like a picture of like a cabin in the woods with like snow on the ground or something on it. I don't know.
Well, New Belgium used to make one like that.
It's not New Belgium.
Yeah, no. If you can find it, I'm curious because
I can't remember.
I don't know if it's Great Lakes.
Maybe
Great Lakes has a Christmas
who makes
ale.
Accumulation?
New Belgium.
New Belgium. Oh, maybe that's. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's that one, and then either Great Lakes or somewhere out of New York State has something. I don't know.
Oh, we'll find it.
Anyway, if anybody knows what the heck I'm talking about,
put it in the comments.
Otherwise,
put it in the comments. All right, so those are our beers.
Yeah.
Which are, so as you can see, you can actually see it. Behind us, I do have Christmas lights, but our room is too bright for you to see them. So one sad little string of Christmas lights.
Where are they?
They're by the pictures behind us, on the pictures.
Oh.
They're right.
Did you turn them on?
They were on. The batteries may have died.
Okay. I was like, they're not on.
They were on. But so sad little Christmas lights. But
sad little Christmas lights.
It didn't matter anyway because we would have the lights on, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you wouldn't see them.
I imagine if I turn the lights off, we might see them, but then you can't see us.
But then it'd be creepy. It'd be like the Halloween episode where we're like,
which we'll talk about that later because we got some things coming up. Okay. Anyway, so the topic for this week, before we get into our station break, this week is about leftovers, right? So it's the Monday after Thanksgiving,
right?
We all had a lot of food.
Sure.
So we're going to talk leftovers. So do you have like a monologue, if you will?
I mean, what to say? I've been eating leftovers my whole life. I'm the only person in my household who eat leftovers. Do you know that?
Yeah. Well, no, but
sorry,
yes.
unless I have my heart set on things. Like if I purposely put something aside, I think tomorrow I'm going to eat the shit out of that. Yeah. Then I'll go in there and like somebody's eating it. But if I'm not excited about it, if it's not something I'm excited about, like it'll be in there for a week, and I'm the only person who'll fucking eat it. Like if I make a whole pot of stew, everybody eats it the first night. I'm the only person who'll eat it the rest of the week. You know, like that kind of shit. I don't know why. Like, so to me, like because I grew up with like my mom used to cook, and my mom would cook. I didn't like my mom's meals, to be honest with you. And she would cook the same shit like every Sunday, and then you'd be eating it until at least Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she'd cook a ham every fucking Sunday, and she cook what I would call a city ham, and because there's country ham, and then, so she cook a canned ham.
Oh,
and I always called it. We jokingly would call it city ham, right? Like she would cook a canned ham, and she cook asparagus with cheese sauce and French style green beans with a handful of bacon bits shaked on top of them to make them fancy. Oh God! To this day, I will not eat fucking French style green beans ever. Like if you julienne your green beans, count me out. I'm done. I'm out of it. Also, I don't like canned green beans in general. Like,
no,
fuck that shit. Like, no, I got to an age and I was like, there are things I will never eat again, and those things are ham. Except, sorry, I will eat a ham steak, like the little like breakfast ham steaks.
Sure.
I will still eat, but other than that, any other kind of ham, fuck off. Like I'm not eating it. And I definitely don't eat French style green beans under any circumstance, or canned green beans.
Yeah.
So even my green bean casserole at Thanksgiving was made with fresh green beans.
Real ass green beans.
Real ass green beans I made them with. Yeah. So
that's fair. That's fair. No, I think to your point though, I think there are two kinds of people in this world: people that like leftovers and people that don't.
Probably.
And the best case scenario is relationships between those two people.
Fair, yeah, because then one person will eat them and one person won't, right? Like they get eaten either way, I guess.
Exactly. No, I am on the opposite end. I'm not a leftover fan. And it takes a lot of. It's very specific leftovers.
Okay.
That I like. And actually, there's a category of leftovers that we'll talk about later in the show. Because you and I differ on this, because we had a funny exchange a couple weeks ago when I told you about a leftover, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, I just thought it was funny the way she stores for leftovers in a way where I was like, that's preposterous.
What?
So, yeah.
But yeah, so I am not a leftover fan. Although at one point, Matt and I had a friend living with us for a little while. This was ages and ages ago. And I don't like leftovers in general. And this person would just eat our leftovers. And what pissed me, it was just because it was without permission.
Oh, like, because he didn't say, "Hey, are you going to eat that?"
Ask me, right? And inevitably, the one time I was looking forward to a leftover, I'd go get it, and it was gone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what happens at my house. Is if I'm looking forward to it, they'll be gone. Mm-hmm. If it's something I could give a shit less about, but I just expect that I'll eat it, it'll still be there, and I'll be eating it for a week, But if it's something I was really like, that's gonna be so good tomorrow, bam, that shit's out of there. Like I go look in the fridge.
Yep.
There it goes. It's been eaten. Somebody ate it. Yeah.
There we go. All right. So let's so we can dive into a little bit more of this. All right, we were gonna just randomly pick something. Do we want to do something Cyber Monday worthy? We really don't know what's
Cyber Monday.
I don't know. Let's not. Let's just talk about food.
All right, let's do it.
Actually, we could plug both, right? So if you want some tacos this holiday season, visit the spot. You can
visit the spot. Also, if you're giving gifts, they got gift cards. You can get a gift card for someone so that they can go buy tacos at a later date. That'd be nice.
That's a fantastic
idea. And hey, you know what? If you don't live near the spot, I will say if you have a favorite restaurant around the corner that has gift cards, that's a great way to support them during the wintertime. Winter, I don't know about everywhere, but where we live, winter is the hard season for restaurants.
Sure.
Because the tourism is kind of dried up, for a minute. And anyway, go to your favorite restaurant and buy a gift card if it's not the spot. But if you're near the spot, go buy a spot gift card.
And if tacos aren't your thing,
you go there.
Check out the Purple Onion, also in Saluda.
Yeah, and you can buy a gift card there as well. Or also, the Purple Onion also has T-shirts and pint glasses and other tchotchkes. Oh, art! Yeah, there's art on the wall. Yes, absolutely. Buy some art off the wall.
Yeah,
they got all kinds of things there. Well, there's art on the wall at the spot for sale too. It's photography at the spot, and it's paintings at the Purple Onion.
I have a painting that was by one of the Purple Onion artists.
Yes,
and I love it. It's featured proud because on the wall behind me, where I do a lot of Zoom meetings, are all my cat art. And because it was actually a picture of Toast, that little portrait is right behind me.
That was because I don't remember whether it was you or Matt, but one of you said, because you saw that artist's work, and you said if there was one of a cat, I would buy it.
Right.
And so I told the lady next time she was in, I said, hey, if you would paint this cat, if you paint this particular cat, you will sell it. And she went, okay, because some of our artists, and I tell all the artists who drop off artwork there I say if you will pander, you will sell more art.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, because we have artists who will paint like a picture of Main Street Saluda, and that shit's like it's gone like the next day,
exactly.
Or you know what? I hung artwork up like 2 weeks ago. There was one painting. Not a painting. I think it was actually a pastel drawing, but it sold the next day. Like the first day it was up, and you know why it sold? It was like a gathering of people on the Appalachian Trail, is what it was.
Oh yeah.
And one of the people the person who bought it was one of the people in the drawing.
Right, exactly.
So I always tell people, I was like, pandering works. If you will tailor your artwork to sell to particular people, it will move off these walls. Like people will come in and purchase it. So.
Absolutely. So then you'll see it. Like there's a couple episodes where we did remote episodes for whatever reason.
Sure, yeah.
And if I'm at my desk, you'll see it behind me because it's
absolutely.
there with my entire.
Or if you've seen one of our episodes where we did remote, sometimes I'm sitting in the Purple Onion. You can see the artwork.
That's true. That's also true. So yeah, let's do that. Go eat some good food, buy some gift certificates, enjoy yourselves. All right. So, okay, let's actually start with this one because we started to talk about it before. Okay. And you're already digging into your next one.
I'm on my third beer.
I'll be there any moment.
Well, not third, but third for the show.
Right. So let's start with how to store leftovers with this story, right?
Okay.
So the other day, I texted Bill. I just tried to eat the gross pizza we had. Like a month before.
Oh, the pumpkin spice pizza.
The pumpkin spice pizza, which we did not like. And I texted him, and I'm like, I just tried to eat it, and I know. And he's like, well, it's also a month old. And I'm like, well, it was in the freezer.
And I was like, what craziness is it? Who the fuck puts pizza in the freezer for a month?
So I will store leftovers in the freezer because then in a later date I can enjoy that thing.
The only thing I've ever put in the freezer leftovers is if you make a big huge pot of some sort of super stew, Because oftentimes if you do that, if you make a huge pot of soup or stew, you are first off you're gonna have enough to eat it for a couple of days right after you make it.
Sure.
You're also gonna have enough to make. You're having enough left over where you're also gonna have more than. You're gonna be sick of it after 3 days, right?
Sure.
Like, and so I'll usually put some of it in a Tupperware container and throw it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And say, okay, I'll defrost that a year from now or whatever the hell. You know?
Well, I will defrost it like within a month or so. Like I have a lot of leftovers like that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, normally we have Bill Has a Pizza on Monday nights, but I'm very fucking tired of pizza. So I made Bill Has a Stew.
Right.
And whatever we don't eat, I'm going to put in a container and put it in the freezer because
I think we should call it Bill Has a Potluck or something.
Bill
for that.
Has a Potluck.
Well, because it just has more.
Well, next week I'll make something else in the crock pot.
Okay.
So
fair.
Something different. Actually, I already picked out next week's recipes. So
very well. Okay, but no, but to that end, I will say like. So the freezer, because to get to what you're saying, like aside from putting a soup or a stew in the freezer, like I will never put leftovers in the freezer, and there's certain things that if they ever go in my freezer, like they're never coming out of the freezer. Like if you ever freeze meat at my house, like, and people do this, they'll come home and they'll throw like a pack of chicken in the freezer, and
I do that. Yeah,
I'm like, that's like we're gonna throw that away. That's all that's gonna happen. It's gonna sit in there and get freezer burnt, and a year from now we're gonna throw it in the trash.
Well, I only buy if I buy chicken, it's for that week, and then I'll put it in the freezer if it's gonna be too long before I can cook it.
Yeah.
Like if I pick it up on Monday, we're not eating that until Friday.
Yeah.
But then I know I'm gonna take it out on Thursday night. So
we're not the kind of people who remember to take, because here's the thing with that is if you freeze something, you have to remember to take it out and defrost it. What do you think?
Have you already tasted it?
Yeah. I had some last night too.
Oh, okay.
But I've also had a sip.
I don't dislike it, but it was more cranberry than I was expecting.
It is very cranberry.
It's very cranberry.
Which like anything that's not a cider that's got this much cranberry is a little weird, right?
Yeah, I will say, so last week we had that cranberry
cider,
the cranberry ginger beer.
Cranberry ginger beer.
And it tasted like cranberry and sage and rosemary.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is delicious. This tastes like cranberry and spices, but it's also an ale. So it's just, I don't not like it. I actually like it. It's just
kind of weird.
Well, it struck me wrong.
Yeah.
At first it was like, this, what is this? Why is this?
Well, you know.
I don't think I hate it. I don't know that I would drink a ton of it, but I don't think I hate
good.
it.
That's why we're splitting it.
All right.
That's why I brought one over here for you to finish.
Because you're like, I already had it, and I'm like,
I was like, yeah, it's okay, but it's not like the Cold Mountain was better.
Cold Mountain is significantly better, and I'm actually genuinely glad we drank the Cold Mountain first.
Yeah.
No,
because this would. I think this one would put your taste buds off a little.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. So, all right. So freezing food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a food freezer.
I don't really go in for freezing. Like there's food that starts in the freezer is okay in the freezer. Like, you know what I mean? Like frozen foods go in my freezer. My freezer has waffles,
right?
And
and
pizzas and pre-frozen food. Exactly. Like I don't tend to freeze food after the fact. That's basically a death sentence for the food.
So I will suggest. So pizza is one of the leftovers I'll freeze, and food I make myself, like soups and stews and things, or chili, I'll freeze that, but we can eat a later date. The one thing I will say does not get frozen would be like a restaurant.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I would
like
never
leftovers.
Yeah, I would never like order, Chinese food and then freeze half of it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Either it gets eaten or it doesn't.
it either gets eaten or thrown away.
Yeah.
So hey, to go back to the premise, which is leftovers, I wanted to talk about the things that I think are good leftovers and the things that I think are bad leftovers.
Yes, let's go back to that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, because you mentioned Chinese food or something, like that's a good leftover.
Chinese food is a good leftover.
I will heat up Chinese food and eat it the next day, or not just Chinese, any Asian food, Chinese pad thai. I don't know.
Yes. I think with the sole exception of sushi,
Sure, yes. Leftover soup. Actually, I was gonna say so seafood is an exception. I don't think you want leftover fish in general.
No.
Like if I go to the pub and I get fish and chips.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You eat them all at the pub or you don't eat them.
Yes.
Like you can throw those away now because I'm done with them.
Yeah, well, because like for instance, like sushi, you've got the problem like, is this 3 day ago raw fish?
Right.
Like but fish and chips, like the other problem is like because the crispiness of the fish
it's not
will
gonna
no longer be
exactly.
crispy.
And microwave fish is the worst thing ever. Like
don't do that.
So fish is a thing that, like you eat it all when you sit down and eat it, or you don't bother. Right? Like when you're done eating fish, you're done eating fish.
Yes, correct. Absolutely 100%. Yes.
So that's probably like the biggest, like I will never eat leftover fish is like a rule of mine. Like just there's no point in putting it in the styrofoam container because I'm not going to eat it.
Exactly. Well, I think this also expresses a difference in the types of leftovers, right?
Sure.
You've got I made it myself leftovers,
Sure.
so like soup, stews, or anything you have leftover from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have restaurant leftovers.
Right.
Which are restaurant leftovers. If you don't eat it the next day, you are literally not going to eat it. And it needs
Probably
to go.
true. Yeah. If you don't eat them the next day, that's very true. It's funny because food that I made myself, I don't know what your limit is, but I actually, to me, it's good. It's good for the entire an entire week out.
Okay.
Like if I made it on Thursday, it's good until Wednesday. That's the way I look at it. Right.
Okay. All right.
It's probably not
It's not scientific.
I'm not. There's no science in this. This is just my personal I
No,
but I also because I have a friend of ours, a mutual friend, has gotten sick off of old rice.
Oh yeah,
because
rice
apparently doesn't keep for a certain
rice will grow a specific type of bacteria.
Bacteria that will make you ill. I will say I eat rice past that date all the fucking time. Like apparently I'm immune to that.
Do you cook it real good though? Like after, like, do you like give it a good heat or make?
I mean, I guess I microwave the shit out of it. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it can. So now I think you're playing rice roulette.
I am.
One of these days.
One of these days I'll get sick off of it, but I haven't yet, so I don't care yet.
Right.
Right.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like the day I throw up rice, I will stop doing this. But I've eaten rice. I'm not saying I eat rice like a week out, but I've eaten rice. I have heated and reheated. This is the thing I've heard is actually you're not supposed to heat it and cool it and heat it and cool it. Oh, I've done it. I've done it like as many as 5 times.
Yes, I've heard that's particularly bad. So welcome to your intestinal disease.
Or conversely, I've got the intestinal fortitude of a dog. And I can eat whatever the fuck I want, you know?
Well, so it's to your point of the how long can I, because I actually had this question. I meant to eat it today and I forgot. I have 2 leftover turkey sliders.
Mm-hmm.
And my intention today was I was going to eat it, and then I totally forgot and I ate something else for lunch.
They're good until Wednesday.
They're good until Wednesday because I made them on Thursday. So, all right, I will eat them tomorrow. But if I don't eat them tomorrow, they got to go. But I need to remember that I wanted to eat them, and I need to take because I have slider buns in the freezer.
Put it on your calendar.
I do need to put them on. Well, and I also froze. So we bought enough sliders and buns to make way more than we did, but we found out we'd only have a handful of our neighbors over.
Yeah.
We didn't need it. So I had I did a third of the turkey. And then the slider buns, I had 2 things of slider buns.
I don't know if you saw this or not.
What?
Did you see that?
What is it? 7.5?
Yeah.
How the fuck is this that high?
I don't know, but
it doesn't taste like
I just realized I was having a good time, and I was like, why? I was picking up all the beers, like, why am I having such a good time? The Cold Mountain is close to 6. It's 5.9. It says. Sure. I don't know what the Shiner is probably like 4.
Shiner's not a lot usually.
No, it's
5.4.
Okay, well.
And then you had a Gaelic before that.
No, I had a Mama's Little Pills.
Oh, you had a. That's not a lot. That's not a lot.
It's all these.
How is this? I don't know how this is 7.5.
Like okay, you know, if you don't like the flavor, you'll like
how it makes you feel.
I just realized all of a sudden I was like, I'm having a good time over here. What's going on?
That's fair. All right, so yes, I have to remember to take the slider buns out and eat the sliders tomorrow.
Eat the sliders. Okay, so here's restaurant food. Oh my god! So the best leftover. First off, fucking chili. Chili is better the day after you cooked it than it is the day you cooked it. Am I right?
100%. I'm not actually a fan of chili, and they're like I make 2 different types of chili, and they're my favorite.
I make 3 different kinds of chili.
Oh, you fancy!
I'm crazy. One of them is from Cincinnati. What?
Wait, where is Cincinnati at? Wait, oh shit, I'm not in the right place. But wait, where's I'm not in the right place. I'm not in the right place. There it is. Where's Cincinnati? No, where's
kind of. It's almost the South. Really.
It's legit on the border between the South and the North. So Cincinnati style chili, though, that's a very specific style of chili.
It is, but I like that one. I make that one. Nobody else in my house. I'm the only person who will eat Cincinnati chili in my household. So if I make it, I'm making it just for me, essentially. You know.
Sure.
Although I got some new people in the house, so I should make it.
Yeah, you should make it again and see what happens.
Anybody else likes it? Maybe they'll be like, "Shit, this is a bomb!"
Absolutely.
You know, and then I'm like, look at that, y'all.
Then you're the hero. You're the hero of the house. Yeah, you should try it. Just give it a shot. See what happens.
I had at least one girl I was dating back in the day who liked it. Was like, "This is great. I've never had this before. It's awesome." You know. So anyway, Cincinnati chili I make, and then I make like a, I don't know, or like a traditional chili, except for I put beans in it because I just like the fillingness of putting the beans.
Well, and this isn't a chili episode, right? But there is like a line of demarcation versus beans versus no beans.
Sure, I'm aware, but I'm like, if you don't put beans in it, it's not. I don't know. It's like there's no fiber. You know?
Yeah, no. I'm actually, in spite of being from the Midwest, I actually prefer chili with beans than chili with.
If I buy Hormel canned chili, I buy the one with beans in it. I buy the Hormel. Actually, I buy the Hormel turkey chili with beans because it's low fat and it's got beans in it. So you got your fiber, you got low fat,
right?
And it tastes great. You dump it over a cup of rice.
Yeah. Some noodles.
Bam, that's good. Or some noodles.
Yeah, you make some chili mac.
I only make chili mac with Cincinnati chili though.
I only make chili mac with leftover chili.
Okay.
That's the only time chili mac happens in our house.
And then I also have this other weird recipe that's my own thing where I cooked like chorizo. Uh-huh. And then I put hominy and pinto beans.
Oh,
and Rotel the chilies and tomatoes, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck. I called it taco stew for like 2 years, and then Emily's like, "No, it's kind of chili," and I'm like, "I guess it's kind of a chili, but it's not like a chili that exists."
Right? It is a chili.
I guess it kind of is a chili. Like it tastes like chili, sort of, but it's something I made up. And
Heather, I'd like to point out you are also from the Midwest, so
yeah,
like Cincinnati.
I have a policy. So I also have a policy. This is not related to leftovers, but I have a thing, a when in Rome policy. So if I'm driving through a town that's that's renowned for a thing, I will stop and eat that thing when I'm in that town, right?
Sure.
So if I'm in Philadelphia, I'm going to have a cheesesteak. If I'm in Baltimore, I'm going to have the crab cakes. If I'm in Chicago, I'm going to have the deep dish. And if I'm in Cincinnati, I'm going to have the damn five-way, right?
Yep.
From Skyline.
Yep.
And there's a Skyline on every street corner.
That is literally one of the most Midwestern statements.
To be fair, like in Cincinnati chili it's spicy, but it's not hot spicy.
No, it's not.
It's Greek spicy, right?
Pepper spicy.
Well, no, it's got a cinnamon
warm spice. Yeah, it's got warm spice.
It's got cinnamon and
I mean, sometimes you could hate your family, not the chili. That's fine.
That's right.
Too.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it is more Greek spices like nutmeg and the warm spices.
It's the warm spice. Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, which is what the first time I had it, I was like, this is great. This is weird. This is weird. I can't put my finger on it. And then I kept eating it. And I was like, okay, I can get behind this. There was actually a place in Charlotte that made really good Cincinnati chili. And I had theirs a couple times, and I was like every time I'd go in there, I'd order it, and then. Finally, I went home and learned how to make it myself, and actually mine got to where I was mine was better than that restaurant.
Right.
And so then I was like, oh, I don't need to go in there anymore because I can actually make better Cincinnati chili.
So speaking of, if you do go to the Midwest, go to Detroit, you obviously have to try Coney Island, Detroit style Coney Island, for sure. Because it's more like Cincinnati chili, but not.
Yeah, sure. I mean, is it good as a leftover?
I mean, I don't know, actually.
Like, if you reheat one and be
yeah, I bet it was. Like, yeah, it is. Let's just say it is.
You get a handful of them and bring them home and freeze them or whatever.
I'll tell you what, though. I make two kinds of chili, and I don't love chili.
Okay. And
one of my chilies is a turkey chili, but it has like all the chili stuff that you'd have, like black beans and the Rotel, little doohickey. And one of my favorite things to add to chili, because I don't like a lot of types of beans except black beans, this was a game changer. It's adding chickpeas. Put the fucking chickpeas in that shit. So goddamn delicious.
So that one I'm telling you about, the with the chorizo, the hominy.
Yeah.
Hominy has a similar texture to chickpeas. Mm-hmm. It tastes like corn, but it feels like chickpea.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Last time I bought a can of hominy, I had put it in my my stepdaughter goes to Walmart and we like get like the like the drive up and they just put all the groceries in the car.
Yeah.
So anyway, I put a can of hominy and I didn't read the can. It was like a number 10 can if you're familiar. Yeah, and it was more like I ended up dumping. I threw half the fucking can away. Like I was like, You
should have frozen it. You should have frozen it.
I didn't have enough of the other ingredients to make. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have thrown my ratio off.
Well, yeah, but you freeze. You
say I should have put it in a Ziploc bag.
Take out the portion that you needed.
I got
put the rest in a Ziploc bag,
and then froze it, and then made it later. That's fair because it's probably.
And then you could do it again.
Because what I had left was probably two like 12-ounce cans left.
Yeah, you portion it. That's what I do. Like with we have a favorite canned spaghetti sauce that we love.
Yeah.
But it yields 3 2-person portions.
Okay.
And so we do when we open the can or the jar the first time, we measure out the portion we're about to make. Mm-hmm. We measure that out, and then we measure out 2 other portions, and we put them in the freezer.
Okay. I'm glad you said spaghetti because one of the other things that's good as leftovers is any pasta dish.
Yes.
Any pasta dish is good as leftovers. Like that's a thing I will eat the next day, and I enjoy it as much as the day before.
Yes.
Spaghetti, fucking lasagna, reheated lasagna, whether it's homemade or from a restaurant, it's delicious. Mwah.
Yeah.
Pasticcio.
We gave when Easter time, whatever, we made pasticcio. Matt and I made it. Well, I made pasticcio.
Yeah.
And we had because it was just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And I froze it. This was frozen pasticcio that you ate.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a whole bunch left. So for a couple of weeks, we had Bill has pasticcio.
Oh yeah, goddamn! I love pasticcio.
And I make a fucking delicious pasticcio.
I'll vouch for that. It's good stuff.
I don't know. I'm not ethnically Greek in any way, but I learned how to make that goddamn stuff, and it's delicious.
It is good.
It is my favorite.
It's almost like grandma's mac and cheese, if you think about it. Except for with ground beef also, and some cinnamon maybe or whatever.
Bechamel. It's very, very, very delicious. So yes. No, pasta, you are absolutely correct. But that's another thing. Like to the point before, I wouldn't freeze like leftover, like a pasta dish. Like I'll freeze spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
But not like the whole situation.
Oh, you wouldn't? Okay.
I wouldn't like freeze a portion of spaghetti with meatballs.
Stofers would, and it'd probably work.
I know, that's true. That's true. So it'd probably be fine.
It's probably fine because I'll eat that shit. Like, I eat that all the time, you know?
Like we talked about, Vinny's is an Italian restaurant right up the road from me.
Yeah.
And they always have a line out the door, and it is like American family style Italian.
Yeah.
Like it is that New York, just like Sicilian New York family style Italian. Huge portions, meat forward.
Yep.
It's delicious. And we'll go get, because you can order one thing of like spaghetti and meatballs, and that's what they consider a portion for one is like 4 people.
Sure. Yeah.
And So that's great. You order that. You eat half of that on the first day.
And their
You eat the
lasagna
other-
is the same way. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely at least a double. I don't know. Like I so here's my thing. I have a hard time stopping sometimes before I've eaten. You know, I have to tell myself basically when I start the meal, like I'm going to save some for tomorrow. Like if I don't tell myself at the beginning, I'll get beyond. You know, when you get beyond half, and you're like, well, there's no point in freezing.
Yeah, exactly.
I might as well eat the whole plate now.
Exactly.
You know, but if I think about it before I start, I'll go, I'm going to leave half of this, and then I'll have this tomorrow also. Because
well, that's like a diet hack, right? Like if you're like when you go to a restaurant, as soon as you're served, ask for a box.
Yeah, right.
And then go ahead and put half of it up,
and then say, "Oh, this is all I'm eating tonight," which is 90% of the time all you need is half. Mm-hmm. Because the portions in this country are fucking
we're
obscene.
Insane. We're insane.
But
also, I just have to say, now that I'm here on this, I'm coming around to this one.
Well, it's because you're drunk.
That's true. That's because it's 7.5. But it like the cranberry is mellowing. Like because when you first taste it, it's really sour. Right? You get the real sour.
I never felt it was sour. I tasted it, but I was
cranberry.
Like,
okay, you get that cranberry flavor. No, I'm coming around to this. I don't know that I could drink a ton of it.
All right,
but
I'll bring you another one next week.
Well, I am also drunk because it is 7.5% alcohol.
That's like. It makes it like you get to a point. You're like, "This is delicious. I love it. You're my best. You're my best friend.
You're my best friend. I love you so much." No, well, this is why before the show, I was. We knew we had 3 beers for the show, and we each drank a beer before the show, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to open a different beer.
Like, she went ahead and started one of the 3 Christmas beers that we're going to drink tonight. She went ahead and started it because she was like,
I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
I shouldn't do too many. It's fair because you didn't even look at this yet.
No.
You didn't even know yet that the holiday ale was what it was.
No, but the best part is, to the leftovers point, Bill has a crock pot, or Bill has a potluck.
Yeah.
Tonight we're doing stew.
Yeah.
So Matt, our faithful apprentice who usually makes us a pizza, he doesn't have to do shit. Like, because it's already ready.
It's already ready, yeah.
It's already ready already.
Hey, speaking of leftovers,
what?
You're not the kind of person, you ever drink half a beer and then put like 10 full over the top and put it back in the
I yes.
You have done that?
I shamefully said I've done that. It's very rare, especially, but it so here's the thing, and we'll probably have one because I have a bunch of them in the fridge.
You have some stale beer?
No, none of the. But last year we bought a local Christmas beer it's like 10.5% alcohol. But they're the tall boy.
Oh cans. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like
I don't need all this.
No.
Yeah.
So like we bought them and we split them, but even like they're heavy porters. So just two was enough. And so we still have a whole, but we have like 4 of them in the fridge, 3 of them in the fridge. So some point in the season, you and I will share some.
Yeah, fair.
But like that's the kind of thing. Like if I was just alone and I wanted that because it's a tall boy, I'd be like, I do not. Yeah, we'll just put this back in here.
Oh gosh,
it's not gonna happen.
I saw that one time on there was an episode of King of the Hill where he had half a beer, he put a tin full over and put it back in the fridge. And
no, I'm not doing that for like a Bud Light.
Who the fuck would do that? Like that's disgusting.
I'm a finish.
No, there are beers. Like here's the thing: either beer is good enough for me to finish it, or it's bad enough for me to dump down the drain.
Correct.
That's kind of where I'm at with that, right? Like
yes,
yeah,
absolutely. That is exactly correct. So okay, actually, we've covered all. Do we have least favorite leftovers? What doesn't keep? We said fish.
Fish.
Yeah, I mean that's really I think the top of that.
Yeah, I don't. Aside from that, just something you didn't enjoy the first time, and you're like, sometimes you'll save a thing. Like you went out to eat, and you paid money for it, and you're like, oh yeah, box it up, and the next day you're like, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm fucking not feeling it.
Well, I do that a lot at restaurants because it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but I'm not gonna eat it again. But I feel bad. And when they're like, do you want a box? I'm like,
yeah, I got you. You don't want to be confrontational and say, well, no, it's fine. You can just throw the rest of this away.
Even if I liked it, like, I'm like, no, box that up. Because then at least I have control over whether I throw it away or not.
Right.
Like it is. And there have been like, especially pizza places, you know, when you live in cities, there are often people who have less material options
Sure,
than we
sure.
do, right?
Yeah, you can. And if you pass one of them, you can hand it to them.
Oh, I've done that with
Yeah.
pizza. Like they're like, "Do you guys have $1?" I'm like, "No, but I've got this
But I
half
got half
a
a
pizza."
pizza. Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, "I will take that half
Yeah,
a pizza
like,
because
fair."
yeah."
Although I will say, pizza is one of the better leftovers. Depending on who. So that's true of every pizza except Little Caesars doesn't keep.
oh yeah,
Little Caesars, you eat it when it's fucking hot now, or you don't eat
hot
it.
and now, like that's
Yeah.
hot and ready.
You
That's
eat that
pizza.
shit the day you bought it,
Yeah.
or you don't bother.
In that moment,
Right.
like within minutes.
I don't know what happens, but that shit turns to like solid.
Yeah.
Like it turns into like the next day is a goddamn brick, and it doesn't matter how much you microwave. Like it doesn't really worth a shit.
Well, and I grew up with that like next day pizza, like where like what you were talking when I said I tried to eat a pizza that was a month old. And you're like, it's a month old. I'm like, it was in the freezer. So that's why we normally freeze pizza, because then it becomes a special treat for a future date.
Okay.
And you can cook it right from frozen. Like you stick that in the oven. 10 minutes, it's good to go.
All right.
Right from frozen.
I should try this. You know what? Somebody in my household brought home a pizza last night, and it was like a cheeseburger pizza. And I don't mean like it was cheese and hamburger, but it was cheese and hamburger and onions and pickles.
Yeah, I've had that.
You had that?
Asheville Brewing.
What'd you think of it?
I love it, but that's a fresh pizza.
Okay, so I got home last night and it was already cold.
Yeah.
And I had a slice and I was like, it's okay. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. You know?
Yeah.
But you're saying that's one you
Asheville Brewing does one. And we both love Asheville Brewing.
Well, they brought home an entire fucking pie that was cold already.
Yeah, that would be a hard.
And I asked my wife about it. I was like, who bought this fucking pickle pizza here? And she's like, oh, Alex brought that home. And I was like, was it awful? And she's like, I don't know why.
Was it the whole thing?
No, the whole fucking pie. Yeah. And she was like, well, what's up with it? I'm like, I don't know. There's a whole pie in here. Like, I don't, like, it must have been terrible. I actually ate a slice because I was like curious. And I was like, I mean, it's the okayest thing I fucking ever ate. But
that's a piping hot. That's a piping hot.
I can see that. I said it tastes like a McDonald's ham.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly
McDonald's
what it
cheeseburger is what it tasted like. Like it was like, I think it was the addition of onions that made it taste like a McDonald's cheeseburger. You know, it was
and
like
the pickles.
because they put 1,000 micro onions on McDonald's.
Yeah. So I'm watching a show. Actually, you should watch this show too. It's great. On HBO called The Big Brunch. It's The
Big Brunch.
Yes. So it's hosted by Daniel Levy, and there is an Asheville chef on it.
Oh.
So it's a cooking competition. But there was in the last episode we watched, there was a whole conversation about, one of the judges didn't even like delivery pizza because pizza should be eaten hot out of the oven.
Huh.
And she's not wrong. I'll eat delivery pizza, but she's not wrong.
I mean,
it's better fresh out of the oven, delivered to your table, eating it.
Sure.
It will always be better. They said the same thing about Chinese food, and she's right.
Yeah, I will say this, but I hate this. I hate when I go to a pizza place, the pizza, if the pizza's ready too quick.
All right, and I'm not ready to eat it.
Yeah.
I'm still drinking my beer.
I'm still drinking. I want to get my buzz on before you bring me my pizza. Let me get my 2 beer buzz and then bring me my pizza, right? Like that's the proper order of things.
Right. Exactly.
Like if the pizza's like I'm like I had 1 beer and then you come out and bring me my pizza and I'm like, I want another beer first though. Like
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, it's nearly time for Bill Has Potluck. So, do we have anything else to say about leftovers?
I think
have we beaten this dead horse?
We have,
and eaten it tomorrow.
I will say, do you ever think that leftovers are just like reruns, but food? It's the same thing, right?
Are you?
Kind of.
It's true. I mean, other than it's not the summer after that food premiered.
Oh yeah.
Or just a random.
It could be
holiday.
if you put it in the freezer. That's like true. A maniac.
Yeah. No, that I loved that. I was like, I just tried to because I said I took out the pumpkin spice pizza and said, no, sir. And you're like, it was also a month old. Like,
I was like, what kind of crazy person are
you? Here you go. Some of the best comedy of our show of all time.
Deja food.
Deja food. Thank you, Heather. You are correct. That is, that. Tip our hat to you, sir, because
chef's kiss.
That's the funniest. That is correct. Leftovers are deja food, and I will call it that for the rest of my life.
Yes,
you are correct. All right, so things that are extras. We actually had a leftover. We
had a leftover from last week.
We're just gonna keep talking about it.
We got so like into whatever we were talking about last week. I don't even remember what we talked about last week, but anyway, we got way into the episode, and then I was like, yeah, we're not doing that today. So anyway, I want to talk briefly about Elon Musk and Twitter.
Oh God!
Because did you save the screenshots? Do you have screenshots?
I don't have. Oh no, I didn't put them on this. I didn't save them to put on here.
Oh man, that's too bad because I had some good times. I had some good times on Twitter.
We did talk a little bit about it last week.
Did we? Okay.
Yes.
So after Elon Musk took over Twitter, I got back. I haven't been on Twitter in years. I actually left Twitter when they silenced Rose McGowan for calling out Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
I was like, well, that's bullshit, and I was like, I'm done. And I've never been on there since. But then recently I decided, well, okay, I'll get back on. I heard comedy was legal, so I got back on.
Yeah, we were told.
I was told comedy was legal, so I got back on Twitter, and I got back on Twitter with a joke account called Elon Muskie Fish.
Right, we did talk about this a little last week, though. Yeah, because you told the whole story of.
Did I tell the whole story?
The nice lady.
Okay, I didn't realize I told it.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, well, never mind. Anyway, then I got on there and I talked some shit, and I called out a bunch of people that I was just trolling and stuff. But anyway, then the week went on, and it just got like I realized like Twitter's become like a fucking it's just a what do they call it, a feedback loop.
Feedback loop.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's like some dude bro says some horse shit, some sexist horse shit, and all the other dude bros high five them, and that's all it is. And I'm like, there's no point being here anymore. Like, there's no discourse.
Oh, the inevitable demise of Twitter at this point. Like,
yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's short-lived, folks. Like,
it's going away. And it's just funny to watch a so-called genius like fucking ruin something he spent too much money on.
Shit, like we call him a genius. He's not.
He's not.
He's somebody. He's a trust fund baby whose parents had
apartheid
money, emerald specifically.
Sorry.
And we pretend that he invented Tesla.
He didn't invent shit. Not. All he's done is invested in shit that was invented by other people. Like
absolutely. So
he's not that forward thinking. Like he just does whatever the fuck he thinks will get him like, strokes on the fucking internet. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but today apparently he posted some picture on Twitter of like his bedside table, and it was
I saw that.
It was like a gun and a bunch of empty beers and a picture of 1776 or something.
Yeah,
and it was like serious, like I just got divorced dad vibes.
I saw that. Yeah, it's like, has anyone told him this isn't cool? It's just sad.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Actually, my response to that was, I'm surprised he didn't go out and make a rant in his Cybertruck.
Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. So yeah, the inevitable demise of Twitter
an asshole
is happening any second now, and it's because a cult of personality has bought it. And even when he realized he shouldn't have bought it, he bought it anyway.
He kind of had.
He tried to get out of it.
He tried to weasel out, but he couldn't. Like,
oh no, they called his bluff.
They called his,
they totally did, and they're like, "No, this is great.
No,
do this.
You got to do it now."
Yep, you sure do, and it's working out exactly as predicted.
Yeah,
so 100%. So you are correct. Being rich doesn't make anyone smarter or amazing. It just gives them opportunities no one else gets.
That's the facts, Jack.
It gives them opportunities to fuck shit up. So, yeah.
But I'm laughing all the way to the bank. Not really to the bank, because I'm not making any.
I'm just laughing.
I'm not making a dime off it. But I think it's funny. Like, I'm just like, yeah. Because I'm like this with anything that, like, I don't know. I mean, it's like this and this and the Bitcoin shit all going to pot at the same time is like just a collective. You know, like, because I don't know, like I just like
there's a Schadenfreude in it.
There totally is that.
Totally admit. 100% admit there's a Schadenfreude in it.
Absolutely. Like, absolutely, that's what it is. It's just me, like, getting off on someone else's pain, but because they're horrible people, though. It's like, you know, I don't do this if it's like, if you told me, like, and the homeless are going to freeze to death this winter. I wouldn't be like, yeah,
let's solve this. Yeah, like, yeah, but it's rich white dude bros who think they know all the answers.
Right. And then suddenly like, they're getting a comeuppance, and I'm like, comeuppance is great. I love it. You know, so anyway.
Yeah. No, this is also absolutely, he will never be poor.
No.
This will fail spectacularly.
But it might make him a millionaire.
Well, yeah, or at least a very low billionaire. Like,
right.
He won't be poor.
A little B billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely correct. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It just makes me happy that the one thing he thought he could control by owning it is totally blowing up in his face.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I'm okay with that. So, all right. So, anyway, we're going to go have some stew.
Let's do that.
Why don't you take us away?
All right. Bill Has Opinions is engineered and produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless Laura agree with him or Bill agree with her, in which case it's a wash. I don't fucking know. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, and hashtag Opinion Gang if you mention anything about the show. And also, you can send us feedback. You can email us, or you could leave feedback on any of those platforms, and we'll try to get to whatever it is. I guarantee we'll get to it.
Oh, 100%.
Because we got nothing better to do. Anyway, yeah, it could be show ideas or just something you want us to address or whatever the heck.
Yep.
Other than that, tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel for another exciting episode where we'll talk about.
Well, the next episode is on Krampusnacht.
Oh, very well.
So we're gonna do a spooky Christmas.
Yeah. Let's put the Krampus back in Christmas.
Let's tell those ghost stories and tales of the glory from Christmases long, long ago.
And I always wondered about that whenever I hear that song.
I know, right?
The fuck is that talking about?
But it was a thing, right?
I guess
so we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see you then. And y'all have a good week, I guess, and tune back in next week.
Before we end, we have to end on this this fantastic pun right here.
What's that?
Tryptophantastic.
Okay.
So that's the hormone that's in the in Spectacular Christmas.
In the turkey. Yeah,
in the turkey. All right. So then we're really leaving. All right. Bye, everybody.
See you later.